What's up, everybody? It's Sunday, February 28th. So I was thinking over the weekend, remember all that Reddit meme stuff, you know, the GameStop, the AMC, all that crazy stuff that happened. Well, what came out of that, at least one of the things that came out of that with the whole Robinhood investigation and everything, was that Robinhood was selling its order flow to Citadel Capital, big hedge fund, all right? And I did some investigation, and there were some of these other algorithm type traders that were also buying Robinhood order flow. One of them was Virtu Financial. VIRT is the stock symbol. I mean, they're very well known, and they're another one of these algo shops. And it really pointed out the idea, or not the idea, the reality that these companies make money basically by just front running orders. And they do this, I think, for a very simple reason. They can't make money any other way. So they do it in a kind of a, for me, it's almost like cheating. They're gaming the system. It's been discussed in the past as to whether or not maybe classify this as illegal, but you know, these firms, they're very rich. They're able to lobby in Washington to keep their activity protected. But this is what it is. I mean, they buy the order flow from companies like Robinhood. I even know the guy who founded Virtu Financial. His name is Vinny Viola, and he was a trader on the NYMEX back when I was a trader on the NYMEX back in the 80s. Look, if you look at Virtu Financial, if you think like this is such an incredible activity, I mean, to me it just is ridiculous. These companies spend millions upon millions of dollars, maybe billions in the case of Citadel, that's a very big hedge fund, to, you know, basically make a very small alpha return over a risk-free rate of return. Virtu Financial, if you were an investor in that company, if you own stock in that company, the stock price of that company has pretty much not moved since its IPO about 7 or 8 years ago. I mean, it's in the $20 range. I think it's $27 a share, and that's where it's been. That's where it was at inception, and 7 years later. And the company pays a 3.5% dividend, annual dividend. I mean, come on. Is it really worth it? Now, I'm not saying their founders and their top executives aren't well paid, but I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And they do this again because they found a little way to game the system, to front run orders. You don't need all this massive investment into equipment and programming and, you know, setting up your servers real close to the exchanges so they can beat the order flow by a couple of nanoseconds. I mean, you just got to use your freaking brain. If you have an understanding of MMT, of the monetary system, if you have some mental game, I mean, you know, maybe you're not starting out with a chunk of capital like these guys have, but in terms of return on the investment, you blow these guys away. This is a ridiculous, stupid, unnecessary activity. It adds nothing to anybody, to the economy, to anyone. It may, you know, line the pockets of the guys who own these firms or who run these firms like Ken Griffin. And by the way, I've been all through this. These hedge fund guys, the main way that they make their billions is on a management fee of some percentage on the money they manage. So like if the guy's managing, I don't know, in the case of Citadel, what they have, let's just pull a number out. If it's 50 billion, right? And they're making a 2% management fee. I mean, you know, right there, that's what, $1 billion a year the guy has in his pocket. Then if he even makes a 1% return on 50 billion, what's that, another 500 million? So you get 20% of that. That's another 100 million. So you're up to, 1.1, maybe 1.5 billion every single year. They hardly even have to make any money because they're managing so much. They're getting it on a management fee. That's really how these guys accumulate their wealth. But the point that I'm making is, it's a game. It's a stupid game. It's a game you could absolutely beat. All right? If you got the understanding, if you have the mental game. And I look at this and I just say to myself, it's a bunch of firms. They don't know what they're doing. They came up with a way to game the system for very, very small profits. Basically nothing. They're skimming off a little bit from the markets only because they're front running everybody's orders. This is a waste of time. I think it should be outlawed, personally. I just don't think it adds anything of value whatsoever. It's stupid. I think it is a statement of just how little you really know, that you have to go through all these incredible machinations to make some little tiny return on your money, invest millions and millions and millions of dollars, have to put your equipment in certain places, otherwise it's not going to work, to make a tiny haircut. I mean, it's just stupid. It really is. So if you look at these guys and think, oh wow, I wish I was them, I mean, you really shouldn't. You absolutely shouldn't. This is just the height of stupidity. It's absolutely a useless activity. It's a statement of how little they understand, that they have to figure out a way to game it. And even by gaming it, their returns are pathetic. I mean, you don't have to do this. And you really have to look at these guys and say, you know what? They're just losers, man. They're total losers. I mean, the point is, if you manage to raise up the money that these guys manage or the capital that they have, you can make far more off of that. I mean, their real genius, I've said it before, their real genius is getting money to manage. I mean, they're all in this clique. So, once they're in the clique, once they're in the group, they have access to institutional money. But the returns are ridiculous. They're stupid. And you can beat them every single time. And you should be laughing at their game. You should absolutely, because they don't know how to make money. They don't know how to invest. They got to buy off somebody. They're buying off your orders to jump in front of you because they don't know any better. That is the height of stupidity. It is the height of ridiculousness. So look at these guys and laugh, because they're a bunch of bums. They really are. They add nothing of value to anyone. They are a bunch of bums. And if we can't get rid of them, at least we should just laugh at them. That's my take on this. Anyway, have a great rest of the Sunday. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.